Storytime with Tim, sharing my stories of long ago, back on the old porch, bloodhounds and all my relatives telling stories about fishing and all kinds of stuff. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, leave comments, hit the notification bell. If you like, give me a like, hit the old hand thing, and let your friends and family and your doggies too know about Storytime with Tim on my YouTube. Below the video, you'll see a thing that says more. Click on that, opens up the description of the video. It has my merch store that's brand new, Amazon store that I have, my disclaimer, and some other things in there. So click on the link for my merch store, help support the channel, and let your friends know about it too. So let's get going on Story Time with Tim. I'm going to do a story about seeing Jimi Hendrix back in the 60s. Anyway, I was in school. I think it was my junior year of high school, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, why don't we get some tickets and go see Jimi Hendrix down at the Coliseum in downtown Seattle?" And so we did. We went and bought some tickets, and I'd never seen Jimi Hendrix before. So we, I was actually driving, so we drove down in my car and found a parking spot down there by the stadium. And back in those days, it wasn't that difficult to get a parking spot, even with somebody like Jimi Hendrix, which was, it was like, 68, maybe 69, I think it was. And the concert was being announced that they were going to have a revolving stage. And I didn't know what that would involve. I thought that sounded cool when I first heard it. I didn't know that it wasn't as cool as it was made out to be. Anyway, so we got down there and was starting to look for our seats, and of course they were they were as high as you could possibly sit in that building. It was way up there where the ceiling, it was all concrete, right? So your seats went up like this, and then the roof at the top went up, right? So our heads were right above the ceiling of the corner of the building. And so we sat there. The view was, still not that great, but it was okay, right? So before they modified that building, it pretty much every seat up there was pretty good, even at the 300 level. So especially for the stage being in the middle of the Coliseum, not at the one end. So everybody was going to get a pretty good view of the stage because it was centrally located in the building. So the first band that came out was called Vanilla Fudge, and they had a super. They were a really, really good band I believe they were from England, and they had a super keyboard player. The guy was awesome. The keyboards back in those days was more of a thing than it is these days, especially with the B3 Hammond type style organ, which nowadays is all electronics, and pretty much all the power equipment was on stage back then. Instead of the concerts these days have great big huge main speakers and all that, so all the sound, you could get by with a small amp as long as it has a microphone on it going through the big PA. It could just blast everybody out of the building. But back in those days, what you had on the stage was what you were hearing out there. So the amps back then were gigantic that were on the stage. And Vanilla Fudge, of course, had just a big tower bank of nothing but amplifiers behind them. And they were really good, and so we watched them, and the stage was revolving around like it was supposed to, and which really kind of sucked, because at one point you could hear the band, but you couldn't see them until the stage rotated it back around, and it rotated not fast, not slow. It was staged just about right, so you could at least see the band on one song. You could see them maybe, 4, maybe 5 times on that revolution of that one song. So it moved along pretty good. So we watched them, and then Jimi Hendrix came on, right? And he started playing the songs that were familiar, right? Foxy Lady, and all along the Watchtower. I don't think he had that one out yet, but Foxy Lady was really popular back then, and Hey Joe and stuff like that. So he was playing those, and then his guitar playing was just unbelievable. It was fantastic. And at one point, he lit his guitar on fire on the stage. He had like lighter fluid, sprinkled it all on the guitar, lit it on fire. It was it was pretty cool. But I think that was towards the end, though. So during the middle, he was known for putting his guitar behind his back and playing with it. Playing it with his teeth, or up above, however he did it. It was weird. He was playing the guitar with his teeth. And so that was strange, but it sounded really good. And the drummer and the bass player, just phenomenal. Keeping up with him, because from what I heard, every time he played a song, he never played it the same. What you heard on the recordings was really cool. It sounded really organized and all that. And they probably something he didn't like doing as far as recording in a studio. He's probably more happy playing on live on stage, where he could just have the freedom of just doing whatever he wanted to do. So the drummer, Mitch Mitchell, and Noel Redding, the bass player, they were phenomenal, because they were actually able to improvise enough to keep up with him doing all those bizarre changes that he did, But yeah, he was he was one of a million, that's for sure. That guy was really good. And so everybody was lighting up in that place. It was just one big smoke. And so where we were sitting at the top, I mean, we didn't even have to light up, man. We were lit, just inhaling that smoke up there in the top of the building. I mean, my eyes were burning, and oh man, it was funny. And Cliff, he didn't smoke, marijuana at all, so he was high. That was funny. And then, so we got out of there, and took off. And then I was new at driving, and so we took off from there, and we were trying to find the freeway from Seattle. Well, we ended up going underneath the freeway, and it was foggy out that night, We went underneath the freeway and came out up on the Capitol Hill side, and eventually down on Rainier Avenue, somewhere down in there, trying to figure out how to get on the freeway. So here we are on the east side, driving around, and it was pitch dark, and all of a sudden, we saw the street names, and we're going, ooh, I've heard of this area, and I don't think we should be in this area, period. So we started freaking out, and so Cliff saw a yellow light, and he said, man, punch it, let's get out of here, before that light turns red. And so we couldn't see what was on the other side of that light, it was just, all we saw was the light and the road we were on. So I punched it, and it was a T. And so the car flew up over the sidewalk, And there was a school there, a brick building school. And I came about this close to hitting that brick building and tore the grass up. I mean, we got up by the school, and he says, "Oh man, we got to get out of here before the cops come," you know. So I put it in reverse and tearing up the grass and the dirt, and oh, what a mess, man. It's a good thing we didn't get caught. But we finally found our way to the freeway, and it took us like an hour of searching around trying to figure out where the freeway was. I wish we had GPS like they have nowadays with Google Maps. Oh man, that would have been pretty sweet. But we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have nothing. We didn't even have a map with us, an old paper map, so we could figure out where we're at. And we didn't want to ask anybody. Not down there. No way. I didn't even want to get out of the car. I had the doors locked, the windows up. Just like, let me out of here. Anyway, that's the Jimi Hendrix story with a little added stuff. So you enjoy it, please subscribe. Give me a like. Comments would be nice. And hit that notification bell at the end there. Thanks.